Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's fourth and final video. Going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's final video. Day 10 will take us to the 15th of April, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles. Maybe around a couple of weeks, we'll have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. Gets us into the beginning of May, and I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just say about the first video recepts our 6 AM UK weather forecast, and we'll also release the weekend forecast and the ECM F42 day for the UK and Ireland. So check out those 3 bits if you'd like to do that. Like, share, and subscribe on all of today's videos and content. And thank you so much for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. About 80 subscribers gets us to 19.7k. No, if you can give us a sub, that'd be absolutely awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Right, let's start off with the latest window map from earthnullschool.net, showing that the easterlies are back. So a couple of days ago, the easterlies dropped out for the south, and that's why it was very warm on Thursday, particularly yesterday. Well, the easterly is back today. Still warm though in the south. Temperatures will still be reaching 20 degrees for most southern counties, but overall, it is a cooler feel for England and Wales. Of course, the easterly never went away further north, so around those eastern and northeastern coasts of England and Scotland, temperatures remain well and truly pegged back as the air comes in from off the North Sea. Central England temperature has now reached 11.1. That's over 3 degrees above 61 to 1990 average. It is provisional to yesterday to the 4th of April, so a very warm start to April, to say the least. These were GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles. Next couple of weeks, on Durham today, so the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Durham. Sorry, everyone was starting off above average with the upper air temperatures at the going to keep them above average for the next week, 10 days or so. Into the second half of April, we do see the upper air temperatures starting to come down and revert closer to normal though. So warm for the next week, 10 days with the upper air temperature. Remember, this is for Durham though, so it's not particularly realised on the surface, I don't think, there as very close to the North Sea, so it feels quite cold. But from upper air temperature perspective, it's warm. Please go with this. And then we get through into the second half of April. Upper air temperature come down, but surface temperature, as we do see, will probably lift up. You know, it's a rather counterintuitive thing. There'll be a lot of dry weather as well for the next week or so, but just look a little bit more unsettled as we go into the second half of April. So this could be an April of 2 halves, really, with a dry and warm first half away from the east coast, and perhaps a cooler and more unsettled second half, but that remains to be seen, because this is all extended range stuff. So like this warm and dry period is in the reliable time frame. This cooler, wetter period is in the unreliable time frame. Temperature anomalies for the next 5 days, taking us to the 10th of April and coming out above average, especially for the north and the west. The 6 to 10 day temperature anomaly significantly above average, looking quite warm again. 10 to 14 day temperature anomaly just slightly above average, particularly so for more southern regions. And as far as the precipitation anomaly is concerned, 7 day precipitation anomaly taking us to the 12th of April is substantially drier than normal, and the 8 to 14 day goes closer to average. So that perhaps implies that things get a bit more unsettled later on in the month, but a very dry start, to say the least. Right, let's go through the chart data. Let me see how the latest UK Met Euro run is looking for midnight on Tuesday. High pressure bringing lots and lots of dry and fine conditions. We really are looking high and dry then. And then the high pressure goes on into Wednesday, through Thursday, into Friday. High pressure still just about holding on, but gradually start to ease away as low pressure begins to move towards Iceland, and some low pressure then starts heading in from off the Atlantic towards next weekend. So a bit of a change there. Certainly for the north, something a bit more unsettled. I think for the south, probably up to next Saturday anyway. It's still a fair amount of high pressure. Icon again with high pressure dominating the weather, bringing loads of fine weather throughout next week, and that high pressure best carries on through to next weekend as well, with a ridge over and to the east of the country. And then the KMA looks like that, so high pressure once more dominating the scene, but through next week, but gradually by the end of next week begin to turn a bit more cooler and a little bit more unsettled as well. big change next weekend. Low pressure deepening over the country. So, very quickly the high pressure goes and we go off into a cooler, perhaps even rather colder, and also much more unsettled spell of weather there around the middle part of April. That remains to be seen. GFS midnight run once more with high pressure in control and in the ascendancy throughout next week and into next weekend as well. Gradually through next weekend, the high pressure begins to slip away to the east as lower pressure starts at about So sorry, everyone got a bit of hay fever today, and really sniffling with the tree pollen. Eyes are bad again as well. What was I saying? High pressure gradually declining along, lower pressure heading from off the Atlantic, starting to turn rather more showery in the extended range. We get to the 21st of April, maybe Azores high, bridging back up from the southwest, and the GFS V2 looking like that. So high pressure dominates the weather throughout next week. Next weekend sees lower pressure taking over, becoming more unsettled briefly, and then probably in this strong northeasterly wind might have a bit of a chill to it. I would have thought low pressure to our south and east, high pressure out to the north of the west. So definitely cooler and showery with the GFS V2 into the middle and lasting into second half of the month there. So quite a substantial change from the GFS V2, but that's a very different, very different compared to what Midnight Run was showing. So it remains to be seen. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks to everyone for doing that. Drop a comment, let us know what you think about this, all of my videos and content. Don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Get to subscribe too. Thanks to everyone for doing that. Please don't consider giving a donation to GavsWeatherVids as well. This is our PayPal page, so if you could give a donation for our PayPal page, that would be absolutely incredible. We'll give you a shout out in the videos. It's helping to pay for me to have the content and the channel, and be able to do the content for everyone. So if you could give a donation, that would be absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, everyone. Right, the GEM once more with high pressure dominating the weather across the country on Tuesday, and the high pressure remaining in control throughout next week, bringing loads of dry conditions with it as well. Into Ward Day 8, 9, 10, lower pressure then starting to move in from off the Atlantic. So a change with the gem in the Day 8, 9, 10 period up to the middle of the month, start to turn unsettled and showery. But wouldn't necessarily say wet, but it does turn showery, more unsettled. So that high pressure begins to slip away to the east. And then the ECM rounds it all off with high pressure in control and in the ascendancy through most of next week. Next weekend gradually start to turn more showery as lower pressure moves in from off Atlantic. So there is a change, something cooler and more showery around the middle part of the month. But it looks as though by the end of the ECM run, we're trying to get back to some higher pressure to the south again. This is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from Tibetcho.com. So once again, we see a lot of dry weather to come over the next few days. It is a case of being high and dry. Just right at the very end, we start to turn a bit more showery across the country. But even then, we wouldn't necessarily say it's desperately wet. This is the option on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10 from the Icelandic Met Office. Gets us to the 15th of April. 51 out of 51 members of the ECM ensembles, all of them with low pressure over and to the west of the country. Looking unsettled, cooler and more showery, but not cold, because actually the wind direction is still coming up from the southwest, so it's not cold, but probably cooler and more showery. And then in 2 time, missing the option that we've got, so if it does turn more unsettled or showery around the middle part of April, doesn't look like it'll be for long, as higher pressure seems to be building back up from the southwest again. 51 out of 51 members of the ECM ensembles, again, all of them by the 20th of April, building that higher pressure back up from the southwest. So any interruption to the fine weather around the middle part of April doesn't look set to last all that long, I don't think. Not a definitive breakdown to the unsettled weather yet. CFS V2 finally beats a 500 millibar height zone. It's broken down to week periods. The first week period takes us from the 5th week to the 11th of April. Next week dominated by high pressure. And then week 2 looks like that. So high pressure weakening. It's the 12th to the 18th of April. High pressure weakening, but still a ridge to our east. Low pressure out to west, starting to turn a bit more showery and unsettled. Week 3 will be the 19th to 25th of April. High pressure is to the south, low pressure is to the north. Winds coming in from generally quite a westerly direction. And then week 4, we're back to high pressure again, strongly, which is 26th of April to the 2nd of May. Big ridge building over to the north of the coast. That brings the wind in from the east. So, not much to say. Back to high pressure again. Once we get to the end of April, beginning of May, it's high pressure, high pressure, high pressure, high pressure, high pressure, except for that little interruption around the middle part of the month, seemingly. Okay, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you open board doing that. Why not drop a comment? Let us know what you think about this and all about videos, content, live streams, etc., etc. Don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Get them to subscribe to. Show everyone for doing that. 80 subscribers gets us to 19.7k. And if you could give us a sub, if you could give us a donation, sorry, and give a little bit of money to GavsWeatherVids via the GavsWeatherVids PayPal page, that'd be absolutely awesome. It does help to pay for the content and will ensure, hopefully, that I'm able to carry on doing this for everyone. Right, okay, so we'll end it there. Tomorrow we have 6 UK weather forecast. We've got our next summer update coming up, and we'll be live at 6 PM. We attend a 14 day, and no doubt will include some long range. Not sure about 6 actually or 6:30. I'll let everybody know about it. Given how quiet things are on the channel at the moment. Tumbleweed, basically. Given how quiet things are on the channel, though, I might struggle to do an hour-long stream, to be honest. So it'll perhaps be 6 to 7, or just after 7, looking at doing a 10-4 down, looking at a little bit of the long range. But I'll confirm that timings on the live stream tomorrow. We will be live, though, either at 6 or 6:30 tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday for this one. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.